Want to master Jasper reports from beginner to advanced? You're in the right place. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the full Jasper reports tutorial series. In today's video, let's explain dataset and subdataset. Okay? First, let's explain that what is a dataset and why you are using dataset, what is a subdataset. After explaining that, we want to implement in Jasper Soft Studio. A dataset is a collection of records or data that Jasper reports use to generate reports. Dataset, in simple terms, is a source of information for Jasper reports. It may be database, Excel file, XML, JSON, or it may be normal Java object. So, to know better data source, let's implement in Jasper Soft Studio. First, let's create a new Jasper report project. We have new, and here let's select project. Then we have Jasper reports project, and let's provide name for that. For example, data data set project. Okay, so inside that project, let's create a new folder. Simple, right click on that, then we have new, for example, reports. After that, let's create a new Jasper report project, report, Jasper report. We want to select blank A4, and let's provide name for that. For example, dataset report. Okay, so we have data source, then we have data adapter, one empty record. Thereafter, we have multiple database connections, but we want to establish a new database connection. Click on new. As you can see, we have data adapters. We have multiple data sets or data source like CSV file, collection of Java beans, custom implementation, database JDBC connection. We have multiple sources, okay? But we want to use database JDBC connection. Select this one, then click on next. And here we have name for the connection. For example, data set connection. After that, we have JDBC driver. We want to use MySQL. And here in the list, let's select MySQL driver. Let's find that we have multiple drivers, but we want to select, MySQL driver. Okay. We have MySQL driver here. Okay. com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Select this one. Then we have database URL. Let's provide database name for that. For example, we have Jasper Reports DB. Okay. Then we have username. The default username is root. The password is empty. Thereafter, we want to test the connection to see the result, but we got an exception, class not found exception. No problem. Let's select driver. We have driver class path. Then we have add. We want to select driver. We have JDBC MySQL connector. Select this one, then open. Let's test the connection once again to see the result. As you can see, successful. That is good. Then finish. Then next. Okay. Okay. Congratulations. That means the report is generated successfully, and we established the connection between JasperReports and MySQL database. Then finish. Okay, we created a report Remember that whenever you want to create Jasper reports, it has only one main dataset. Every Jasper reports has only one main dataset, but you can create multiple sub datasets as well according to our requirements. So, we want to explain the sub dataset in a minute. First, let's implement the main dataset. As you can see here, we have dataset and query editor. Just click on that. Okay, we have database connection. Okay, and here we listed different databases from MySQL. That is good. We have Jasper Reports DB as well, and we have multiple tables. Okay, let's select data from the employees table. You can select data from any table. There is no problem. But we want to select data from the employee table. Simple. Select star from employees. Let's read the field. Okay, this is the main data set, and we selected all the data from the employees table. Then click on the OK button. Okay, after that, as you can see here, we have fields. You can drag and drop all the fields. There is no problem. But we want to skip that. We want to use sub data set because the sub data set is very important. So thereafter, let's explain the sub data set. A sub data set is additional data set in Jasper reports that can be used with multiple components like table, crosstab, charts, and list. Whenever you want to use these components, you have to create sub data set in Jasper reports. So thereafter, as you can see, the main data set has parameters, fields, sort fields, variables, and so on. So thereafter, whenever you want to create a sub data set in Jasper reports, it also has parameters, fields, sort fields, variables, and so on. It has a separate query like main data set. Whenever you want to fetch data from a database, the main data set has query. By using that query, you can get data from a database. But the subdataset also has a separate query to get data from a database. Okay, let's create a subdataset in Jasper reports. We have dataset report. Right click on that. Then we have create dataset. Click on that. We have dataset dialog. That is good. Let's provide name for that. For example, employee sub data set. You can add any name, there is no problem. After that, click on next. So as you can see, we have data adapter, and here we have again database connection. You can establish a new database connection, or you can use the same connection of the main data set. There is no problem. Let's use connection of the main data set. We have we have dataset connection. As you can see, we have dataset connection. Select this one. Okay, all the databases listed from MySQL database. That is good. We want to select data from the Jasper Reports database. Okay, let's expand that. We want to select data from the employees table. Okay, you can use any table. There is no problem. Simple select all from employees. Then click next. We have spelling mistake. Okay, we have different fields. Let's add all the fields. There is no problem. Thereafter, we have group by. We want to skip that. Then finish. Okay, we created a subdata set, employees subdata set As you can see here, we have employee subdata set that has separate parameters, fields, source, and variables. Okay, like main data set. So, as we mentioned that the subdata set can be used with list, crosstab, charts, and table component. Let's use the subdata set with a table. And here we have different elements or components. Let's select, for example, table, drag and drop here. As you can see here, we created employee subdata set. For the table component, we want to use that. Click on next. So after that, let's use JDBC connection. Okay. Then click next. We want to add all the fields. Click next. And here in the table, we have different sections like table header, column header, group header, group footer, column footer, and we have table footer. You can skip any of the part, there is no problem. But you want to add all the sections, there is no problem. Later, you can change as well. You can add or remove as well, there is no problem. Let's finish that. Okay, we want to correct that. So that is good. After that, what we want to do, we have table and here we have fit columns. Select this one. And here we have data set. As you can see, this is a separate data set and has a separate query that can select all the records from the employee table. Okay. Thereafter, we have subdata set, we have table, and here we have also a query that can get all the data from the employees table. Okay. You can remove from the table this header as well. Right click on that, then we have delete row. After that, we want to remove the footer. Delete. Then we want to remove this column footer as well. Remove. Okay. You can change the title or header as well. For example, ID. Then we have employee name, email address, phone number, for example, salary. Then we have department. Okay. So we don't want to explain the table component here because we explained the table component in more details in the previous video. Thereafter, let's save the changes. We want to switch back to the main report. This is the main data set. And here we have attached the subdata set, okay, with the table. So let's save the changes. Then we want to preview the report to see the result. As you can see, we have a report, but the table displayed duplicate. We have a second table with the same records. Then we have the third table with the same records. After that, we have the fourth table with the same records. Okay. To fix that issue, we have the main data set, and here we have the subdata set. We want to display records from the subdata set, but not from the main data set. To fix that issue, to remove the duplicated table, what we want to do, select the main data set, and here we have data set. Remove this query. Instead of that, select, for example, 1 as dummy. Then read the fields. Click OK. Let's preview that to see the result. As you can see now, we have only one table. We have 10 records. So to understand better how we can remove duplicated table from a table components, you can watch my previous video, because in the previous video we explained how we can remove duplicated table from a table component. So let's summarize that. What is a data set in JasperReports? A dataset is a collection of records or data that JasperReports uses to generate a report. In simple words, a dataset is the source of information that provides the records used in a report. A dataset can get data from different sources like database. It may be MySQL, Postgres, Oracle, or SQL Server. It may be Excel file, CSV file, XML, JSON, Java objects, or any other supported data source. Then we explained main data set. Every Jasper reports contain one main data set by default. The main dataset controls the execution of the reports and provides records to the report bands such as title, page header, column header, detail, column footer, page footer, and summary. Then we explained subdataset. A subdataset is an additional dataset that you can create inside a report. A report may contain 0, 1, or multiple subdatasets. Subdatasets are commonly used with table component, charts, crosstabs, and lists. Each subdataset can have its own query, parameters, fields, and variables. If the main dataset returns no records, the report may show document is empty and components that depends on a subdataset may not be executed. That means whenever you want to execute a subdataset, first you have to execute main dataset. After executing the main dataset, the subdataset will be executed. So let's summarize that every Jasper report has one main dataset. That means whenever you want to create Jasper reports, it has one main dataset, but a report can have multiple subdatasets. The main dataset controls report execution. Subdatasets are used by table components, charts, lists, and crosstabs. Each dataset can have its own query and data source. So, if you have any questions, you can write them in the comment. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. That is enough for today. Have a good day. See you in the next one.